Joining us now, the president's defiant action is security analyst at the Clarion Project, Ryan Mauro. Ryan, thanks for joining us. Ryan, the Trump administration invoked emergency provision here, essentially sidestepping Congress. Explain for us the actual crisis we're seeing.
Right. So basically, the president is, before exporting arms, supposed to notify Congress. That gives Congress an opportunity to potentially block it. But the president can cite this legal loophole that does exist, saying, well, it's an emergency that impacts the national security of the United States, and therefore the arms sale is moving forward. And President Bush did this in 2006 to sell arms to Israel when the Israelis were fighting Hezbollah. So there is a precedent for this, but what's different is that back when it was in regards to selling arms to Israel, everyone was in support of it, including Congress. And this time, Congress does not generally want to arm the Saudis and assist their fight against the Iranian-backed Houthi rebels. But the administration has decided that this qualifies as an emergency, and it is, and it does impact the national security of the United States.
Okay, so New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez, top foreign relations Democrat in the Senate, said that Trump failed to stand up for human rights. A fellow Democrat, Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy, calling this a dangerous precedent. So exactly, senators were warning that they saw this coming several days ago. And that the president was going to use this loophole. How are lawmakers responding to this? And is it only the Democrats that are concerned? I mean, certainly some Republicans feel equally as strong about this.
Yeah, so for example, Republican Senator Marco Rubio said that basically it's a bad precedent, but he also withheld judgment, saying that he would want to learn more about the details of this deal to sell arms to the Saudi-led coalition fighting the Iranians in Yemen. So you are getting bipartisan criticism over this, but I'd like to hear what the alternative to this really is, because it's not a matter of perpetuating a human rights crisis in Yemen. If the United States pulled support from Saudi Arabia, and we all knew that that would end the humanitarian crisis, there'd be overwhelming support for that decision. But the fact of the matter is that the Iranian-backed Houthi rebels are also causing that humanitarian crisis, and it would continue regardless of whether we were backing the Saudis or not. And so the choice right now is really just about, do we help our partners fight back the Iranian-backed proxies that do chant death to America? And in my assessment, the best chances for improving the humanitarian situation over there is progress on the part of the Saudi-led coalition, as opposed to the United States essentially backstabbing and abandoning that coalition.
Okay, so Ryan, how does this play into the administration announcing that there will be 1,500 U.S. troops being sent to the Middle East?
Right. Well, that is part of why the Trump administration can credibly claim that there's an emergency that's impacting American national security, because all of these little developments, these terror plots by the Iranians and the Houthi rebels, is all part of an escalation on the part of the Iranian regime. That's why the threats were going back and forth. And so as part of that equation, you are seeing them ramp up attacks on the Saudis and the UAE, targeting the shipping, and that affects the United States economy. And if you don't deter that, including by supporting our partners in the region, then you're going to see a situation where you can see it have a serious economic crisis globally, as the price of oil increases and the price of insurance on shipping skyrockets.
Ryan, again, thank you so much for joining us.